Welcome to Leaving Crazy Town with Finn and Sarah. You guessed it. Today we're going to talk about the holidays.
Oh, I need my
12 tips to survive them.
Yes, 12 tips to survive them. So we're going to go whip through these. I'm going to say them, and Finn's going to give an example. Kind of. All right.
But I don't know what they all are, so bear with me, people.
I'm going to surprise them. All right. Tools to have a healthier holiday season, mentally, physically, spiritually. You ready?
Go.
1, manage expectations. What is realistic and unrealistic?
Unrealistic is that I would get together with my family and everyone would treat me as if I am today instead of the person they knew 10 years ago pre-recovery.
Yes, perfect.
The other expectation is that I'm going to feel happy, joyous, and free, and that fairy tale Christmas that I've seen on TV or holiday is going to actually be how I feel.
Am I going to get 30 more relatives?
All day I'm going to be in love with the world, whatever. No, I may have some feelings on both ends and the middle of the spectrum. That's how I would manage my expectations. Reality.
Yes,
what are the facts?
What are the facts? And yes, we all know that resentment. I mean, expectations are resentment waiting to happen. Okay. Number 2, take care of your bottom line. So what I mean by that is everybody gets so wound up. They forget to eat. They forget to sleep. They spend too much money. You don't, reach out to your friends. You don't go to meetings. Time for yourself, exercise, meditation. Okay, go.
Okay, so I would probably cross off the word everybody gets that way because I tend not to. But I will say I've been hearing a lot from my friends. Recently, I called a friend to see how they were, and they're like, oh, they're shopping, and they're busy, they sounded so frantic on the phone that I was like thinking something really bad happened. But evidently, they had a lot of shopping to do for Christmas. And yeah, I don't see that as a 911.
Right.
It's not an emergency to me. My bottom line is...
take care of yourself.
Take care of myself. If I'm finding an excuse not to go to a meeting that I normally go to, that I need to because I'm too busy, that maybe I need to look at my calendar. And my calendar doesn't need to be so busy.
Right.
This expectation that we're all going to get in the hustle and bustle of the holidays, I absolutely know is going to take me out of being present for people and being present for myself.
Yes.
And
all right.
Bottom line, I need to sleep, eat, go to meetings, do my thing.
And just again, it's like there's so much sugar around. That can make me nuts if I start binging on sugar because I'm at a party. Go ahead.
Yeah, our example, we're going to go to a holiday party later today. And Sarah said to me, what if we eat first? That way we don't have to deal with food while we're there.
Perfect example of self-care because I didn't want to eat a bunch of brownies or whatever. Okay, number 3.
I'll
plan
take a picture
ahead.
of her if she does.
Plan ahead so you're not completely surprised. So if you go to a party like we were just talking about, or even just going to a mall or whatever, plan your day or your week or your holiday situation so your crazy drunk uncle doesn't show up or whatever.
Well, he may show up anyway, but it could be something as simple as traffic, right? So you're on a time constraint.
Yes.
It's the holidays. Sure, the mall might be busy. You may have to wait in line to return something. But plan ahead for that. Know that things might be a little slower during the holidays.
Yes.
They might be a little crazier during the holidays, but you can keep yourself cool by just looking at, don't jam in too much stuff.
Yes. Don't set yourself up to be like in a panic.
And always have a way out. Like planning ahead for me means being able to remind myself. I have people I can talk to if it gets frantic. I can go to the restroom and take a break and be by myself for a minute. Yes. Or I can hop in the car and leave.
Yes. All right. Number 4
You have choices.
I think number 4 is very similar to what we're talking about. How to cope with overwhelm. I wrote sticking to the facts and what is a 911 and what is not. Because I think when we're overwhelmed, everything feels like a 911. But if you actually say to yourself, how I help myself with overwhelm is I say, what's happening right now? It could be, I'm just getting ready to go someplace. I mean, staying with the facts and being in the present moment helps with overwhelm. All right.
So the other one that people always say, like when you're stuck in a fire, stop, drop, and roll. I do stop, pray, and tell. So I pause, I ask for help, and then if I need to, I tell someone about what's going on for me.
Great idea. All right, perfect. Number 5, manage your feelings, meaning be careful about reactivity. So, I wrote, so critical to survive and thrive, being in your own body, knowing what works for you, not everyone else. It's very easy to want to do like, you know, this is so funny, but when I used to...
You're feeling really frantic right now.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm feeling... This is so funny, though. When I used to shop for my son, I would get to a point where I feel like I wouldn't have enough presents, and then I'd buy a couple more, and then I had too many. So I was either not enough or too much. So thinking about...
extremes.
Am I an addict? So thinking about what really works as far as how much money you're going to spend, how much time you're going to spend with people or not with people, who you're going to see. You know, codependency and co-crazy behaviors are rampant.
Yeah, so managing your feelings and planning can actually go hand in hand.
Yes.
So if you make a decision today, I'm going to spend this much money on this particular family member gift, family, everything, whatever. And I'm going to do this on this holiday, and I'm going to do this. So if you plan it out, you know exactly what you're going to do. It's a lot easier to stop at that dollar sign, to say no when you get asked to go to the 50th thing, and to like do what you want to do.
So
if it's in the plan, the managing those emotions around getting activated, like they want me to do this or that, is a lot easier. Because you'd be like, I'm sorry, I already have plans.
Yes.
Like, end of story. You don't have to get caught up in, I can fit it in.
Absolutely. You know, that's reminding me too of, you have the right to change your mind.
Newsflash.
Newsflash.
Change my mind.
Change my mind. Like if you say yes to something and then you're overwhelmed and you just can't do it, you can call Aunt Jane and say, geez, I'm not going to be able to make that get together on Thursday night or whatever. I know you guys think you can't do that. But the thing is, having respect for yourself and caring about yourself, let Aunt Jane have the feelings. She's not going to die.
Well, she might. But not because you didn't show up.
Yes. Amen. All right. Number 6, how to recognize old patterns so you don't step into traps or take the bait. Oh boy. All right. So I used to go have dinner with my family. All right. And this is going to sound nutty, but my family loved to talk about politics and what they read in the paper. And I didn't read the paper. Yeah, I didn't read the paper. So what would happen to me every single time is I would feel dumb because I hadn't read the paper that day. So when I would get together with my family, my tools later were, when they would start talking about politics, I could talk to the person next to me, change the topic. I could say, hey, you guys, let's talk about something else. I could do other things so I don't go into the freaking well of depression and thinking I'm not smart. I mean, that's a dumb example.
Recommendation, no matter who reads the news or not, stay away from politics.
Yeah, I was just giving an example,
yeah,
but
no,
yes.
One way, what was the thing again?
It's like, how to not take
old
the bait.
patterns. So old patterns for me are having my family say things that activate me and make me feel less than, and then I defend myself.
Yes.
So I've really gotten better at saying, thank you for that information. I come up, if you just have like a tagline, boom, boom, you can hit it every time.
Oh, that's such a good tip.
If you don't take the bait, there's no fight to be had. Thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you for that information, even if it's about me. And sometimes when they say cruel stuff, I will say, wow, that really hurt. That was cruel.
Yes.
And then just walk away.
God, not taking the bait is so
just
key. Having
a line ready. Plan them. Practice them.
That is so good. I used to say that to clients when they would be making a really tough phone call, to have like a little 3x5 card with certain sayings. Gee, you might be right. Geez, that's interesting that you said that.
Or, gotta go.
Or bye. Okay. Number 7, dealing with anger and resentment so it doesn't ruin your time.
What if when you're there is when all the anger and resentment pops up?
Go to the bathroom and say some prayers. Yeah. Another one was about activation. Look, you might get angry or resentful at any of these situations over the last month. Have some tools. Have like phone numbers, strategies, going into the bathroom and praying, calling your sponsor, calling a friend, saying to yourself, okay, I'm getting activated. What can I'll kind of pocket this, as Finn says, put it in the doesn't make sense file or what WTF file for later. So try to compartmentalize a little. Anything else?
I had created the WTF or miscellaneous file when people behave in ways I couldn't understand.
Really good.
Because I like everything to make sense.
Yes.
So I would churn about what they were doing and try to figure it out. And I finally realized I was wasting so much time with that. I'm like, oh, this has to go in the WTF file.
Yes.
Move on.
All right, we're moving on. The next one, how to manage an activation, we just kind of went over. 9, get support and stay connected. I've noticed this with like looking at Facebook recently. I have one son and my family's kind of around, and I've been comparing myself, like people with 18,000 members of their families, and everybody's at all these Christmas parties, and just noticing, hey, my life is great. I'm not going to compare. This whole saying, comparison kills joy.
I thought it was about getting support.
It is. It's about getting support. Sorry.
So what I want to just point out is, oftentimes I hear from people, oh, I was having a hard time, but I didn't reach out because it was Christmas, or I was having a hard time and I didn't reach out because it was Hanukkah, present day, or whatever. Yes. Whatever it is in the holidays. Yes. Let me tell you something. If you reach out to someone on a holiday, they're going to have a sigh of relief because they probably want to hear from you.
Yes.
So having your support team and reaching out to them, even if it's a text, and be like, oh,
so true.
You know, I just needed a 5-second break, or take a walk and call them.
So
you're
true.
going to be helping them. So
yes.
Don't get hung up in that. It's a holiday and I can't reach out to anyone.
Yes.
I was taught that you don't call on other families, you don't hang out with your friends on Sunday or holidays, you stay in the home. That's not reality today. No. Reality today is everyone's looking for a little bit of a relief, so.
Amen. Okay. Don't get lost in what everyone else wants. Watch your codependency. We've been going over that.
Sarah always says, ask yourself, what do I want and what do I need?
Yes.
And that bottom line, like, that's where it's at.
Number 10, I wrote, happens very easily during holidays, which I'm not sure what it is.
Right here. Don't get lost.
Right. Sorry about that. Okay, 11. Watch out for ways you check out rather than finding a healthier way to cope, such as drinking, eating, smoking, drugs, gambling, shopping. Okay.
All the things you can do to get out of how you're actually feeling.
Yes.
Girls. Food.
Girls.
Gambling. Being busy, busy, busy. Buying lots of presents.
Binge watching Netflix. Sorry. Yeah. Movies.
Yeah, so just be present with yourself.
Yeah.
If you need to check out, try to find a healthy way to do it. Talk to a friend, go for a walk.
Yes.
You know, and if you trip up and you do a little gambling or drinking or whatever, reach out. Ask somebody for some help.
Absolutely. Movies are a great way. I've already planned like 3 movies with my son over the holidays. Because they're enjoyable, but you're only checking out for 2 hours. And it really helps your brain to get off the track you're on. Okay. Just a strategy I've learned. Finally, number 12.
Okay.
Find things that bring you joy. And bring joy to where you're going. Remember, other people are having a tough time, and if you can bring it.
I've found that when I'm nervous to go places, that I've had sponsors that have said, what can you go and be of service? And when I find when I'm going to be present for other people or be of service to others, it doesn't mean running myself ragged. I mean even just showing up to a family event to be present for my family, to listen to them, ask them how they are. I'm not thinking about what I'm not getting or what's happening.
Yes.
I'm thinking about them. It's a lot easier to get through. The other thing is, don't force joy.
Yes.
Okay, so we want to have joy, and sometimes joy just means being present. It doesn't mean like this super joyful feeling, oh, belly laughs.
Right.
It could mean you're just showing up for yourself. It could, but you don't have to force it. If you're having a hard day, let yourself feel your feelings. Just don't tell yourself stories about it.
Amen.
All right, we're out of here, people.
We're out of here.
Fasten your seatbelt.
Fasten your seatbelt. Have a nice holiday.
Have a nice holiday.